back to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to show you a new recipe I'm going to try to utilize all these yummy lemons I've been getting from friends and neighbors. It is lemon brownies with a lemon glaze. So what we're going to do first is take 1 cup of butter and put it in the mixer with 1.5 cups of sugar. And while that is creaming and coming together, we will get the lemon juice ready. And I'm going to use the paddle attachment for the mixer as it does a better job of creaming the butter. Nothing beats regular butter. If you're allergic to dairy, then you can have margarine, but if not, use butter. It's the best. Alright. So again, that is 1 cup of softened butter, which is 2 sticks. 1.5 cups of granulated white sugar. And we're going to let that get to creaming. And then we're going to zest our lemons, which I have washed. And I don't think I need butter in the lemon zest. So again, this is a zester, and the best way to hold it is you kind of have to frame the lemon or whatever citrus you're zesting and the zester. And you just want to get off the yellow oily part of the rind, not the white undercoating, which is the pith, which can be bitter. I'm going to zest 3 lemons just to make sure I have enough zest for both the brownies and the glaze that we'll make later. And these lemons are really ripe and squishy, so they should have lots and lots of yummy juice in there. Love the smell of fresh lemons. You can tell these lemons are really soft and juicy. They're like squishy. Alright. So, this one's got a little more firmness to it. So I think that will be enough zest. And in addition to this, I'm going to take it, I'm just going to chop it. Actually, let me get my other knife. I grabbed the wrong one. Need to get my knife for chopping, which is a Santoku knife or a Santuko knife. I can never remember. But I'm sure somebody will let me know. So please like and subscribe and share to your friends, and please give me your comments. All those comments let me know you're listening and following what I'm showing you, and asking good questions and giving good feedback. Alright. So, alright, the butter and sugar is creaming nicely. Let me just scrape down the bowl. Alright. Okay. So let that finish creaming, and we will juice our lemons. So, got some really juicy lemons here.
Oh, wow.
You can almost smell it. They're so juicy and ripe. This time of year, I've been seeing a lot of lemons being harvested from neighborhood trees. Because of all the wet weather we had, the trees are just going crazy with their fruit.
Unless you don't even have to use a juicer on those lemons.
The juice is pretty much just falling out. I'm barely squeezing it.
Are you putting it through a strainer?
Yes, because I don't like to have pits in the mix. If I'm doing up a lot of lemons, I'll use my juicer, but if it's just a few, this is good enough. These are the juiciest lemons. And these a neighbor had left a box of lemons by the mailbox because we have the community mailbox, and I'm like, cool deal. I took a bag full, and then a few days later they were still there, so I took the remainder of them. I figured everybody had their chance. I'm going to take some and make some dessert out of them.
It's still pretty good too.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
And these are actually a very sweet lemon. I think they're a Meyer lemon. Oh yeah. Great. So that dog is always underfoot. So, now the next part, we're going to crack our eggs into a bowl, because I always like to use an alternate container for the eggs to make sure we don't get shells directly in the mix. And this is 4 large eggs, and it's best to have your ingredients come to room temperature prior to mixing and baking treats. And that has something to do with the way the gluten forms in the recipe, and it makes for a lighter crumb if it's comes to room temperature first. So I'm going to add in the 4 eggs, one at a time, let them blend in. Whoops, that one wanted to go too, apparently.
They're partners.
Yes, we're partners in crime. Alright, and it calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And this little bitty pitcher measures up to 4 tablespoons. So I'm just going to pour this in, and I like extra lemony, so I'm going to go with 3 tablespoons. I really like the lemon flavor. I'm going to put that in. Alright, and then we need the zest of half a lemon. So I'm just going to take half the zest, because it'll make a really nicely flavored batter. And the rest can go in the glaze. Alright, so let me scrape down the bowl, and then we will add in the dry ingredients. Alright, this looks so good. Alright, gonna let that mix well, and then for our other ingredients we have 1½ cups of flour, a half a teaspoon each of baking powder, and salt. So I'm going to dump those in there. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and add in the flour mixture. I do it slowly so we don't have a lot of kickback in flour. And I have the oven preheated to 350, which seems to be the gold standard for baked goods. And let's see how long it needs to bake. I believe it is 20 minutes. Alright. I will let you know how long it took to bake once I get them baked. Alright, so let me scrape this down. Oh, this batter looks so good. It looks like a thick cake batter. Not quite as thick as a chocolate brownie batter. Alright, let me give this a good spin. And I'm going to drop the bowl down. And a good way to scrape off your paddle or your whip is to just spin it above the batter. And the batter will loosen a bit. So let me move this out of the way. Save that. Alright. And I have a 9x13 pan, which I've greased with some generic Crisco. Generally, if you have a lot of butter in your batter, you don't need to grease. However, Brownies tend to be sticky, and I don't want to take a chance on them sticking, so I'm going to grease the pan to save myself grief later on. Look at all that yummy batter. Such a nice pale yellow. Like the color of whipped butter. Alright. Okay. So I'll call that good for now. Oops. And we're going to pour it in the pan. Look at that. It smells so lemony fresh. Scrape that in there. And again, the oven is at 350. And it's for about 20 minutes, but I'll let you know for sure once I take them out. Alright. Get them all scraped down. Whoops. Get all the goodies off the bowl here. Alright. Alright, so we're going to spread it out in the pan. Look at all that yumminess. It's a very fluffy batter. It's got a lot of volume to it. And that has to do with the creaming process of the butter.
If I didn't know any better, I would have thought it was frosting.
Yeah, whenever you make anything with butter and sugar, you need to let it cream for at least 5 to 10 minutes. So do that first when you're doing your recipe and let it keep on creaming while you get the remainder of your ingredients ready to go. It just makes for a very fluffy baked good. Alright. So, scrape all the yumminess off. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and while these are baking, make sure you like and subscribe and share to your friends and give us your feedback. And as I don't trip over the dog here. Alright, so we're going to let those cook. I'm going to set the timer for 20 and check on them, and then we'll bring you back. We'll be back with you soon. The lemon bars are ready. The lemon brownies, I should say. We've made lemon bars, and these are not that. Alright. 25 minutes at 350 degrees. So those need to cool for a couple minutes. Alright, and then while those are cooling off, we're going to make the glaze, which is 1 cup of powdered sugar. And it called for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, but I upped it a little bit because I love lemon. So I'm going to put that in there and mix it together. This is a very orange lemon. It's making a nice glaze. Look at that. Put the rest of that in there. And if it's too thin with the extra lemon juice, we can always add a little bit more powdered sugar. And then we'll put in the rest of our zest. That'll make for a nice decoration on the top. Alright. I'm going to thicken that up just a little bit with more powdered sugar, since I added extra lemon juice. Whoops. We have a very talkative cat tonight. She sees people in the kitchen and she's like, oh cool, I got company. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this over the brownies, just so we can see what the glaze looks like. Ideally you should let them cool off a little bit, but we're anxious to try them out, so I'm going to go ahead and put the glaze on. I mix it up in a measuring pitcher just to make it easier to pour. Alright, so let me get a little scraper. Alright, got a Christmas time scraper. Alright, so we're going to very carefully pour or spread the glaze over the brownies. And this will absorb a little bit as it cools. Alright, so now that we got the glaze on the brownies, we're going to let them cool a bit, and then we will cut them up and have a taste test so you can see how yummy they are. So be sure to like and subscribe, and we will be back with our taste test to let you know how yummy these are. And we're back, and the glazed lemon brownies have cooled off enough to cut. So I'm going to cut them into 24 pieces. And do this carefully so you don't make a mess out of the brownies. They look delicious. I'm putting the glaze on while it was still warm. It kind of absorbed into it. So I think that'll actually add to the flavor. These smell delicious. Kind of like the lemon bars, but it's all combined rather than in two distinct layers. So if you all have any ideas on how to use up all this bounty of lemons I've been blessed with, let me know in the comments. I love new ideas from other people. These are all warm. And I'm making a little bit of a mess cutting them, but what matters is how they taste. Oops. Alright. Someone told me that using a plastic knife reduces the damage when you're cutting through baked goods, so I'll try that next time. Alright, so look at that beautiful fluffy brownie.
It's almost like cake.
Yeah. Alright. So, you want to do the taste test?
I will do the taste test. Does look like cake.
Good?
Very rich and lemony.
Yeah, it is more cake-like, but it's really good.
Alright, so thank you for joining us again on this journey of making glazed lemon bars for the first time. Lemon brownies, excuse me. So, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.